देखना लिंक हाँ वीडियो कोई ना हो गया अच्छा रिकॉर्डिंग है स्टार्टेड लेकिन रिफ्रेश हेलो नहीं डेस्कटॉप नहीं मिलते Good morning, Dr. Indran.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Today I've taken a leave as my son has just come back from outside. Yesterday night we collected him from the airport around 3:30.
Good morning, Dr. Indran.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Today I've taken a leave as my son has just come back from outside. Yesterday night we collected him from the
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Good morning, Dr. Prashant.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning, Prashant.
Hi. Hari.
Yeah, just 1 minute.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. We can start now.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
our
good.
side, I think.
Yeah. So, good morning, everyone. A warm welcome from Indian Society of Remote Sensing and our headquarters at beautiful campus of Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Dehradun. So, today we are celebrating the International Earth Day, which is celebrated each year on 22nd of April worldwide. And as we know, this year we had this holiday, so we plan on 25th by taking consent of our experts. So I will just briefly give the introduction about the Earth Day and our speakers of the day. So Earth Day, as you know, it is one of the events which initially started in 1970 in US, basically to demonstrate the support for the environmental protection. So the history of the Earth Day goes back in early 70s when in Santa Barbara 1968 there was a huge oil spill which caused a lot of hue and cry across the US. And at the same time, our space research, especially the Apollo program, was taking its shape, and the first moon from the image from the moon, popularly known as the Earthrise, how the Earth is rising when you are orbiting the moon. That picture was in the environment, and there are many things that were happening, especially in the US and other countries. The focus while doing the space research came back again to our planet Earth. So I also welcome our President and Honorable Director NRSC, Dr. Prakash Chauhanji, and our guest of the today, and also our EC member, Dr. JV Thomas ji, who has joined us for our celebrations of Earth Day 2023. Sir, as I was giving about the history of the Earth Day. So it was celebrated first on 1970. Initially, it was localized to the US, but in 1990, Dr. Dennis Hayes, who was the initial founder member of the Earth Day movement in US, they took it to international stage. And then more than 140 countries, this event was organized globally. So this is a brief history of the Earth Day, and now there is a Earth Day.org which globally coordinates this event. And I think in 2012 onwards, our Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Earth Science, they have also taken a lead role and given the funding to many various organizations to celebrate this day. From our Indian Society of Remote Sensing, we have been celebrating this day for last I think 10, 11 years. And this year, the theme of the Earth Day is Invest in Our Planet. And to celebrate this, we have very learned speakers, which are very fit to the theme of our Earth Day celebrations. And we have the speakers from World Wildlife Fund, which is a 60-year-old organization, one of the largest organization which is working in the conservation of the environment and having presence in more than 100 countries. And today we are joined with the two of the leading experts from there, Dr. Arindam Gopal, director of the IGCMC with specialization in remote sensing and GIS. And we have Dr. Prashant Padalia, who is the director of the retail fundraising, which interacts with the various government, private, and other organizations to provide the funds and get the funds to support such environmental programs. And also from our ISRO side, because satellite has given the vantage point to see the Earth as a single system. So our ISRO's Earth Observation Program and Disaster Management Office Director, Dr. JV Thomas, is with us, who will give and inform us about the various steps ISRO has taken in the Earth observation so that we can protect our planet and manage its resources properly. So I would like to request our President, Dr. Prakash Chauhanji, to give opening and welcome remarks for this Earth Day celebrations.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen Thakur. Good morning to you all, and my special good morning to Dr. Arindran and Dr. Prashant Padalia ji, and to my own colleague, Dr. J.V. Thomas, on this occasion when we are celebrating this Earth Day 2023, which has a very interesting theme on the invest in our planet. As all of you are aware, Indian Society of Remote Sensing is the one of the premier society which has more than 6,000 professional members. And this year itself, we have celebrated the fifth the golden jubilee of Indian Society of Remote Sensing. And the society is pretty active in the form of conducting seminars, symposiums, the special days like this Earth Day or even World Environment Day and Remote Sensing Day, in terms of providing awareness and spreading knowledge about the use of remote sensing and geospatial technology amongst the various stakeholders, so that people are aware that how these technologies are helping, especially in terms of knowing more about our own planet. Dr. Thakur was talking that not only we are getting many insights about our own Earth, but also various planetary systems using remote sensing satellites which have been launched by ISRO and various other space agencies. But having seen many of these planetary bodies in our own solar system and beyond, at least to date, we have we can say without any doubt that Earth is one of the most unique planet, and it's only known planet which is basically supporting the life in all forms. So that's why it's very precious, and we all have to think about protecting our own planet in terms of the anthropogenic effects which has been caused by our own deeds. And that's why we are facing issues like climate variability, and then which is leading to extreme weather events. In fact, many of the ecosystems are also under threat today, and we only need to devise now strategies that how we can do the climate mitigation, and also in view of long-term effects of these long-lasting greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. What should be the climate adaptation measures we should? Space technology has been providing large insights into various aspects of climate variability. Either it is being the agents of climate change, that means in terms of monitoring greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, SOx, NOx, or also seeing the impact of the climate change on various fragile and sensitive ecosystems like glaciers, forests, coastal zones, mangroves, coral reefs. You talk many things. Most of this information today is coming from the space-based systems, including the measurements, precise measurement of sea level rise, which is happening due to the melting of the ice sheets in the Antarctic as well as in Arctic, or maybe due to the thermal expansion of seawater. All this information has been, very meticulously compiled using satellite observations last 5 or 6 decades. So on this day, when we are celebrating this Earth Day 2023, I'm also very happy that society has brought 2 or 3 very eminent speakers who are going to talk various facets of different ecosystems. And we have with us Dr. G. Arindran ji and of course Prashant Padalia ji from WWF, and I'm sure that the members of the society and those who are joining this function today, they will all get benefited by their very important talks. And we also have with us Dr. J.V. Thomas, who is now spearheading the Earth Observation Program of ISRO. He will be also giving the glimpse about the current activities and what kind of Earth observation systems ISRO is planning to have. Basically, to know more about our own Earth, and also if we talk about the theme of this year's Earth program is to invest in our planet. So in fact, the space assets in which we are making good amount of investment is essentially yielding results in terms of providing well quantifiable measures about the Earth's health. And in that context, the Indian Space Research Organization is investing a huge amount of sums to know more about Earth and to take measures to deal with this type of threats. So with these words, I once again welcome all you all, and I wish this particular function will be a grand success. And I'm sure that all our society members and other communities like students and research communities will get immensely benefited from the deliberations and by the lectures of these three eminent experts. Thank you very much, Praveen, and look forward for hearing from all the three eminent speakers. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Chauhan.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir,
Dr.
for your introductory and welcome address and giving the audience about the activities of ISRS and highlighting the importance of space program in support of our planet Earth. Now, I request our treasurer, Dr. Poonam ji, to start the proceeding and give the brief profile of our first speaker and then conduct the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen. To start with, a very good morning to everyone. Dr. Prakash Chauhan, President ISRS, Dr. Arindram Gopal, Dr. Prashant Padalia, and Dr. J.V. Thomas, our speakers for today, Dr. Praveen Thakur, Secretary ISRS. A very good morning to everyone and heartiest greetings on the occasion of Earth Day 2023. So it is my privilege to give a brief bio of our speakers. So our first speaker for this session would be Dr. Arindam Gopala. So Dr. Gopal is Director of IGCMC with specialization in remote sensing and GIS from World Wildlife Fund of India. Dr. Gopal is involved in several scientific projects using a range of GIS and remote sensing techniques. He is trained as wildlife ecologist. His research interest lies in application of remote sensing and GIS in nature conservation and resource management pertaining to forestry and ecology in biodiversity conservation, biodiversity information system, forest mapping and monitoring, landscape ecology, forest management, and wildlife habitat analysis. Dr. Gopal is life member of Indian Society of Remote Sensing. He was also a visiting researcher at Conservation GIS Lab, Smithsonian Institute in the year 2003 and was awarded scholarship to ISRO in the year 2007. Dr. Gopala has successfully supervised several master's theses and has several papers in reputed international and national journals published to his credit. I now invite Dr. Gopal for his talk on this occasion. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Poonam. I'll share the screen. Yeah, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. It's a great privilege for me to give a lecture where I would like to start like in 1994 when I first visited the IRS center in Dehradun as a researcher from SECON. It was a dream that I one day will be, talking to the various researchers and scientists of IRS. Well, my career started way back in '93 from IRS Chennai, where I did my master's. So I've been always though I've been a wildlife biologist and interested in natural science, but I've been always been, very much interested in understanding the technology part of it, how it can be used in the natural resource. So that's how I did my PhD in wildlife science, and also along with that, I understood how this technology can be used in managing these resources. So today's topic on invest in our planet, where also specifically today is an Earth Day, as Dr. Prakash and the other significant scientists were talking about. Way back in 1970, this term, the Earth Day started, and the 22nd April has been celebrated as Earth Day every year. It started with various activities such as planting trees, reducing waste, promoting sustainable transportation, and supporting environmental protection. Today, this year, is our invest in our planet is the motto. Where in my talk, I'll be mentioning about various activities, how as a WWF we are doing. Dr. Prashant Padalia is also there. And my slides will be slightly, since my passion for remote sensing there, I'll be also talking about various applications of using this technology in WWF, what we do in conservation. I'm not going to do an elaborate presentation because already the listener as well as the scientist whom I'm speaking to are an expert in this subject. But I would like to give a little introduction of what WWF also does using this technology. I've been involved in this field for almost 28 years. My initial days with Wildlife Institute of SECON, then Wildlife Institute of India, now with WWF for the last 22 years. I've seen how the GIS has grown from desktop to web-based enterprise versions, and how remote sensing, how we used to use photographic and 3D planner to draw contour lines, and now digitally everything is available in hand. So geospatial technique enable conservationists, especially like us managers, researchers, to use it for analysis and understanding the various nuances of environmental conservation. So some facts to actually talk about. India hopes to invest in our plan to further by restoring 26 million hectares of degraded lands by 2030, which will also restore a considerable amount of forest wealth. And estimated 80% of the world's terrestrial species we hold, and also it plays a vital role in regulating water cycles and soil quality. And effectively, a tree must live to 10 to 20 years for a meaningful contribution to the environment. So every 5 seconds, it's been estimated that one soccer field size, we lose soil erosion in the country. And over past 100 years, 90% crop varieties have disappeared. So on this earth today, we must introspect and think through about the well-being of our planet. Healthy planet means healthy us, healthy human being. And we are already preparing ourselves to face issues like climate change, food scarcity, water shortage, dry spells and deforestation, and effects of forest fires and cyclones and El Nino effects, and various decline in global species, especially with the biodiversity, and unexpected natural disasters which is happening across the world. Some facts about WWF. WWF India is a science-based organization which addresses issues such as conservation of species and its habitat, climate change, water, and environmental education, among many others. India, we just celebrated 50 years of our existence in the conservation field, and we have broadened and reflect our holistic understanding of various conservation issues facing the country, and seeks to proactively encourage environmental conservation by working with different stakeholders, mainly government, NGOs, schools, colleges, corporate students, and other individuals. In order to conserve India's ecological security, WWF India has adopted following steps: ensuring conservation of the country biodiversity, major ecosystem, and critical landscapes. So we have a landscape approach, pan-India. We have more than 11 landscapes where we intensively work on resolving certain conservation issues and support conservation to protect the nature. Minimizing wasteful consumption, promotion of sustainable and judiciously used natural resource to the various society, promoting active involvement in rural and traditional communities in the sustainable management and conservation of natural resources, and also work towards reduction of impact of climate change by reducing our footprints, minimizing pollution, reducing use of toxic chemicals, and ensuring improved management of toxic waste, enhancing active participation in all sections of society, nature conservation, and environmental protection through environmental education, awareness, and capacity building, ensuring that environmental principles are integrated into development, planning policies and practices, promoting environmental governance through legislation, policy, and advocacy. For 50 years, WWF India, with its strong network of offices across different geographic regions within India as well as worldwide, been working tirelessly towards nature conservation. Now, coming to the main the focus of how we've been using this technology of GIS and remote sensing in WWF India. Way back in 1994, we had the center IGCMC, which was inaugurated by then president of the country, where the first of the GIS expert was directly from IRS Dehradun, Dr. Sirish Raman, who joined the IGCMC and developed the entire state-of-art technology within the WLF India. And after him, one more Dr. Sanjay Tomar, who also from IRS joined. Consequently, in 2000, I joined and I took over the baton and I'm running it to the technology lab within WLF for the last 22 years. Various applications to be on within WLF. We also, other than wildlife and nature conservation, we look into the urban land use cover and environmental monitoring using this technology. And we also look into the various, within the projects, we use this technology for calculating the various vegetation indices, wetlands, study about wetlands, their climatic parameters, using climatic parameters, what are the impacts of climatic change on the wetlands and high altitude wetlands, and also look into the urban heat islands and how the built up areas are expanding. We also use the technology for land surface temperature, analyzing the land surface temperature in various cities, across various cities, how it is impacting the local biodiversity of those areas, do some analysis using site suitability for catchment, using the AODs to study the impact on the urban biodiversity, urban sprawl, and various metrics we use for and also do some spatial modeling to understand how the landscape structures of this urban as well as forest environment is changing. One of the applications which we use, since I'm not going to talk in detail about all the applications, I would like to focus a few which we extensively use within WLF for our day-to-day activities across various landscapes. As I said, we have more than 11 landscapes across India, which addresses the issues related to forest corridors, community and community protection, of fire management, and how invasive species are taking over, and monitoring the corridors using these indices. The first most important is the vegetation indices, which we use NDVI, which I'm sure everybody, since many students are listening, I would like to emphasize that how we use indices to address issues within our landscapes, and also formulate policies which can help the local forest department to address these issues. And we also use like simple ratio indices, SR, and wave and moisture stress indices. We are put into use this technology in monitoring one of the agriculture field, which I'll be showing as an example. Then again, NDWI, which is also a good indicator of vegetation water content, and other indices like enhanced vegetation indices, EWI, and SAWI, that soil adjusted vegetation indices. To give an example, one of the case study in Jalna, where we have been monitoring how our conservation effort, where in a bund we have planted some grass and local species to improve the local moisture content of that area, so that the plantations in and around the Jalna area can help the other vegetation to come up. So we are monitoring using these indices online. Basically, we have put some IoTs on the ground, collect those data sets, communicate it through we are using a web-based tool where we are monitoring this along with the satellite based data set to monitor how the moisture index is slowly improvising or improving based on these conservation efforts, and that in turn helping the moisture content of those areas for the local farmers to have their agriculture practices. So this is where the technology has gone into the level of using these various indices, combining with the satellite technology, and also helping the local farmers to grow their products, and regularly monitoring using the web-based interface. Now, again, one of the study which we did in the Nagpur city, where we did the local biodiversity along with the ICLAI, where we are monitoring and also mapped each individual tree within the Nagpur city, and using a web-based interface, we are also giving a report to the local authorities, the municipality corporation, to understand what is happening in their greenness indices, how the greenness index is changing, how the local vegetation pattern or their various they maintain various parks, what each species they are planting, and what is their growth and how the cover is changing. So last 2-3 years we've been monitoring that. We are helping out. So the technology here is helping us to address the local issues in the urban environment, urban ecology, with support with the local municipality corporations and understanding the environmental quality, how it is changing. Also, we have done an intensive analysis of the heat island impact in the Nagpur city. Urban heat island, which I was talking about. So we use the UHI, the effect based on that, how the LST is on the land use change, how it is allowing the the local urban pattern, urban heat island changes, and how it is impacting the urban biodiversity of those areas. So these are the various indices and various satellite data which is easily available, which we can use as an analysis to understand what's happening and the impact on the urban biodiversity. And as an example, as I said, Nagpur is one city which we have done. We are doing it for many other cities also. But to give an example how in WLF we are using this technology, I want to present this in the as a slide. Then again, the spatial pattern, how the structural changes is happening, and how the disintegration of forest land, like using FRAC-STAT. We use a lot of FRAC-STAT analysis in our case, especially in the corridor connectivity between two protected areas. How the loss or the change in the land uses and how the change in the forest cover is happening. How the using FRAC-STAT we understand what are the various characteristics of those landscapes. How we can intervene from forest from department along with from WLF along with the forest department to address those issues and rebuild or restore those corridors for animal movement. And this is a technology way back like last 20 years. I've seen how it's evolved from various, as I'm sure everybody is aware of, resolutions, a coarse resolution to now high resolutions. We are able to procure those data and do an intensive analysis and understand the nuances of the ecosystem changes at the level of ecosystem changes and at the level of even at the level of let's say in our case the corridor or change in the land use, or in addressing how a small patch of connectivity is going, or the connectivity between a water connectivity it could be, or it could be a land connectivity with forest cover, which is impacting the animal movement. So high resolution images really playing a magic, especially in the field of conservation. And as I said, NDBI, the normalized difference build-up index, to understand what is expansion, how this is going to impact, especially if you look at Dehradun, or how they are expanding, how that is going to impact the nearby forested, like reserve forest or forested area. And understand, let's say, in fact, as I said earlier, the corridors, if this expansion is going to happen, these indices will help us to quantify and to educate the locals or educate the policy owners that this is how it's going to impact your urban biodiversity, including urban biodiversity, also outside urban peri-urban areas, or talking about corridor connectivity. So these are the various technology as well as the index which we use to understand what's happening in our various landscapes. Other vegetation monitoring methods which we use camera network, canocams, fixed-based, and then we also use drone-based like active sensors like LIDAR we use. We are just getting into this field, the LIDAR, and the UAVs we've been already using. Then, of course, field-based vegetation monitoring and science. Citizen science is one which is coming up in a great way, where we are using this tool to understand how presence of and occurrence of various biodiversity component, whether it is let's say bird or animal presence, or it could be plant or any species to the taxa, various taxa we address. And citizen science contribute in understanding their spatial pattern, their presence and occurrences, and their home range extensions. So many conservation issues can be resolved using this data sets. Then again, we are also using AOD, the aerosol optical thickness, in many of our climatic studies. We just taken a baby steps into this to understand using the satellite-based technology to address the pollution issues in various cities. So this is one of the technology we started using with, and we are collaborating with various other organizations in this. And it's again, satellite-based technology. It's quite interesting and a lot to learn and upcoming technology in this. Then one of the intensive work which you do is in various landscapes is the degradation mapping, how the forest degradation quantity or quality of forest is changing, especially due to the land use practices or impact, or let's say invasive species, how they are disturbing the local, the regime of the forest, how the degradation is happening. So satellite, as I said, using the satellite technology and also from ground data combining put together, we are able to understand what is the level of degradation, how much of degradation is happening, where also degradation is happening, so that WLF, as a organization, we are able to address certain issues along with the forest department in addressing these issues to resolve this issue as much as possible. And as a technology, we provide these solutions, or we provide in-depth understanding is what is happening at the landscape level using satellite as well as GIS. So various other issues we address is forest fires, what is the pattern of forest fire, how much of burnt area is happening. And we are also doing some mapping on invasive species, then understanding the grazing areas, especially community forest right areas, how it is helping the local communities, what are the resources available. We are mapping those areas. Also, in a few of the studies where we have also taken studies understanding what is the land, where landslides are happening. With some students, we have been guiding them using this technology. Then also the due to anthropogenic pressure, how the ecosystem degradation is happening, and again forest land diversion. All those various issues, all these issues we can address using the technology, both the GIS as well as remote sensing, which we are essentially using within the WLF. And also these days, carbon sequestration is the talk of the town. So we also use this technology, especially using the inverse model to calculate and understand the carbon sequestrations in many of our land use, many of our in the landscapes. And we have published a few papers also, especially in Sundarbans. We worked very intensively using the inverse model to understand the carbon sequestration of those areas. And we are also addressing how this can be improvised by our intervention to increase the carbon sequestration. And the most important part is, as a wildlife WF being addressing the wildlife issues, we do intensive study on mapping corridors across India, whether it is a tiger or elephant or any other animal, mega animals for that, mega herbivore or carnivore. We look into what is the animal movement pattern. We have and we also collared animals to understand their movement pattern, home ranges, and their connectivity. We support the NTCA for the tiger census in the country. We are a co-partner with them, and we also address the issues within these corridors, how to restore. We do some restoration activity along with the community actively participating with the forest department, addressing the issues in these areas. How to restore these corridors so that and the connectivity between the protected areas or the animal movement is fluid in this area, and it helps the animal to move between protected areas for the perfect gene flow. And one of our important study along the where we have mapped the high conservation areas and various landscapes in the one in Uttarakhand and in Ladakh under the Secure Himalayas project. We recently published a paper also where we use this technology and the land-based and also extensive field work and the ancillary data. We have come out with those areas where the high conservation area, identified those high conservation areas where it can help the local forest department as well as the planning department to come out with their restoration, or let's say in case they are planning for development activities. These are the areas which they can look in detail so that they don't disturb the local biodiversity of those areas. So we have identified using this technology those high conservation area, especially in high altitude. And in Uttarakhand we have done, and also in, as I said, in Ladakh, we looked into the home ranges. We have various species, home ranges, their habitats, their availability of habitats, the quality of the habitat, and various other land use based on that we have come out with these SUV maps. And the forest fire is one of those things which we very actively participate and with the forest department locally and across the country, where we also help them with, or we come out with analysis to understand what is the pattern, spatial temporal pattern, our area of burnt area, how much is burnt area, how we can involve community in protecting this and in fighting this fires, in protecting the forest against this fire. Yeah, we collaborate with the forest department as well as the communities in addressing this issue. So the technology we use, the forms data, we understand what's happening, where are those areas of and we just got a project where we are trying to understand the trend, what has been happening last 10 years, where this forest fire has been happening, what is the hot spots area, cold spots area, how much areas are burned, where is the trend, whether there is an increasing trend or decreasing trend. And we are also trying to do some projections and see whether based on the fuel load and climatic parameters, can we able to protect those vulnerable areas, predictive vulnerable areas where forest department can take, they can engage their resources in protecting those areas from forest. Various steps which we are using in understanding the spatio-temporal pattern of the forest fires. And of course, these days, machine learning and artificial intelligence is the thing which is happening in this field. We've been also started using this, especially we have a partnering with Carnegie Mellon University where we are using a bot to understand. They have developed a bot to understand the various data sets that can be published in various media especially on the infrastructure development or various development projects. And we use those data sets to understand, to use it in the GIS domain to see where the impact could and how we could address that using a policy-based advice along with the local forest department or with the government, and to address the issues related to conservation. So here the AI part is the automatically based on the various publications in the media, it picks up those projects which is related to infrastructure as well as development projects, and it gives us a database. And other than that, also we are also using various AI algorithm in running our various land use and certain other analysis. We are using IoT-based sensors to bring in local climatic data sets along with the AI algorithm. We are able to run models to understand what will be like in case there is a change in the increase in a temperature, how the likelihood the forest fire will happen, or if there is a change in the water level, how the flooding would happen in those areas. So those sort of things we are testing it, and we are working with various universities. So these are the applications we are developing along with various universities with support of various research institutes also. Of course, these are the various examples which I like to showcase in this. We are also extensively now getting into the field of using UAVs and drones to monitor wildlife conflict areas, especially tiger monitoring or elephant monitoring. And we are also getting the hyperspectral data sets to understand how this can address the species diversity in protected areas or outside protected areas. And as I said, this is one of the projects where we are trying to map those development projects across the country using the AI-based, along with the Carnegie Mellon University, where they detect various concern related to conservation with the development project. The bot actually collects those based on the information from websites and various publications. Without remote sensing, of course, we would not identify this problem, how the ozone hole has come up based on the terms. So this is how important this technology is that I like to share with the users, with the listeners. And within WWF India, we also use this technology, especially radio telemetry is one of our expertise, where we use this satellite technology, especially crawlers. We deploy it on tiger or elephant or other animals to understand their home ranges. We support the forest department who is with the partner. Actually, we partner with forest department. They implement the technology. We support them with the technical help, and we understand their home ranges, and we understand the ecology of those animals and what has to be done as a conservation point of view. Part of the restoration areas, in case if their home ranges is expanding, those address also human-animal conflicts. So we are able to have in-depth knowledge based on this technology. So it's GIS, remote sensing, as well as satellite technology. Combined, put together, we understand in-depth nuances of what's happening within the animal world. So that's also a part of our work within WWF India. With that, I'd like to end my talk, and thank you for listening. So I would like to read this. GIS is walking up the world to the power of geography, the science of integration, and as framework for creating a better future. It's a very and a quote which I always liked by Dr. Jake from ISRO. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gopala, for highlighting the potential of remote sensing and GIS for various biodiversity studies and telling us all about the work that you have done in your institute. Thank you so much. For sharing your experience with us. Our second speaker for today is Mr. Prashant Padalia. Mr. Prashant Padalia is Director of Retail Fundraising, WWF India. He is involved in rendering strategic direction to the division Pan India. He is involved in planning and implementing retail fundraising for WWF India. That includes in its ambit telecalling, door-to-door fundraising, face-to-face fundraising, key donors, payroll giving, merchandise selling, school fundraising, and digital fundraising. Mr. Padalia has attended and addressed many fundraising conferences held globally in Europe and Asia Pacific. Mr. Padalia comes with a work experience of 24 years, of which he has dedicated 18 years to the development sector. An IIM Bangalore alumni, he has played a crucial role in setting up retail fundraising for key charities like Oxfam, Care India, and WWF India from the scratch. I now invite Mr. Prashant Padalia for his talk.
Thank you very much, Poonamji. And I would like to thank for giving me this opportunity to address this gathering for this important occasion. So I've been associated with the non-profit sector for last 18 years. It happened by a chance. One of my friends, which was working with a renowned charity, Oxfam, almost 18 years back, when I was visiting her home, she asked me, we are struggling to get someone who can actually raise funds for Oxfam India. So I was involved in sales and marketing. So I thought, why not give my services to a sector where actually the need is more, and I can also get the pleasure of doing something which is more meaningful on a day-to-day basis. And trust me, I haven't regretted my decision to shift from corporate sector to a non-profit, and every day, every year has been very rewarding and very satisfying for me. So we'll start my presentation.
And Dr. Prashant, your audio. Yeah, you can make it full screen.
Yes, just. Is it fine? Is it visible? Hello?
Yeah, just coming now.
Is it visible on the screen?
Yeah, visible. You can make it full screen.
Just a second.
Yeah, in the bottom, or you can just press F5.
Yes. Now is it visible?
Yeah, it's coming.
Yes, coming, Prashant.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will talk about the importance of fundraising, and as I'm associated with WWF India, I will focus on why fundraising is important in the space of conservation. I will give a brief glimpse of this year. The theme of the Earth Day is invest in our planet, but why? Forests are home to an estimated 80% of the world terrestrial species. A mere 1.2% of the global agricultural land is farmed organically. Forests play a vital role in regulating water cycles and soil quality. Why raise funds for conservation? Obviously, it is important to inspire masses for a very important cause. One thing which we have realized that in the post-pandemic scenario, people are becoming more conscious of their broken relationship with nature. So more and more people are now asking us what we can do differently so that we are actually in sync with nature. And obviously, fundraising helps us to reach out to large audience where we can inspire them for the cause of conservation. It also helps us to give voice to the tales of conservation. Many times, a lot of great work which we are doing, but if we are not able to reach out to common people, I think it is restricted to a limited audience. Our fundraising team are actually helping us in reaching out to large number of people. We are trying to tell about the work which we are doing in the space, which is not only restricted to endangered species, wildlife. I think we are working on livelihood, sustainable agriculture. We are working on river and wetland. Arindam talked about our GIS related work, environmental, a lot of work which we are doing, which our fundraising teams are trying to take to every nook and corner of the country. It also helps in to build a bridge between people and nature, because obviously at the end of there is only one earth for all of us. I will give a brief glimpse of social sector in India. Social sector funding in India has increased approximately 12% annually from approximately 10 lakh crores to roughly 17.5 lakh crore in the past 5 years. According to Niti Aayog, India needs to funnel approximately 13% of GDP into social causes as compared to the current 7% in order to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. In this context, private philanthropy is key to bridging the glaring deficit of the social sector funding. Now I'll talk about what the key pillars of social sector funding in India. First is corporate funding, which is primarily CSR driven, corporate social responsibility. It has grown at 15% annually in the past 7 years. It is expected to grow at 19% annually till 2026. The number of companies who are spending up to 50 lakh has grown about 15% from 2015 to 2020, primarily because of the CSR Act. A brief about family philanthropy, which is primarily ultra high net worth and high net worth giving. It is expected to grow at a robust 13% per year by 2026. Indian HNI donate substantially less compared to HNIs which are donating for various causes in China, UK, and US. Ultra high net worth people, especially from the technology sector, have donated more generously as compared to other individuals. A brief about retail giving. Retail giving has grown at a modest pace from 21,000 crore in 2015 to 28,000 crore in 2021. It is expected to contribute 1/4 of the total private giving by 2026. Majority of the retail giving is undertaken by high income and upper middle income group as of now. What is corporate social responsibility? India is the only country enforcing the CSR mandate since 2014. That was a landmark decision made by Government of India way back in 2014, where eligible companies are required to spend a minimum of 2% of their past 3 years average net profits on CSR activities. CSR activities in India have seen an upward to increase in the number of companies failing under the CSR ambit, increase in the number of companies spending more than 2% of the mandate, and there has been a rise in contributions by smaller companies. How WWF India is partnering with corporates. So one of the major pillars is CSR partnership with various corporates. Obviously, we have a very strict due diligence policy. We only work with corporates which come under our green category. We do not take funds from corporate which actually fall under gray or blacklist. We are also driving sustainable business practices. We have a dedicated department in WWF India, Sustainable Business Department, which actually works very closely with business groups, how they can drive their business in a sustainable manner. Obviously, our corporate fundraising partnership is also a means to raise awareness through our various campaigns. One interesting example of our corporate partnership is this, which we have done with Capgemini. We are working together and developed One Planet Academy, which is a digital resource center that hosts engaging and interactive content on environmental issues for students and teachers across the country. So this is a great example of how WWF in India has partnered with corporates on a very important cause. If about philanthropic giving, as I mentioned, it's primarily through high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals. The aim of this program is to achieve sustainable contributions from high net worth individuals by identifying donors and philanthropists, acquiring them and forming a meaningful alliance with them for maximum impact. Once an alliance with the donor is established, the program works towards forming a seamless relationship journey with them through constant communication. I will now talk in detail on retail giving, which is my forte and which is something which I am managing in WWF India. Retail giving constitutes about 1/4 of the total private giving. Total retail donations are expected to reach roughly 45,000 crore by 2026, which will grow at a healthy rate of around 10%. This increase will be primarily driven by strong GDP growth in the country, evolution of new platforms like crowdfunding, and robust growth in Indian middle class. Retail fundraising. Why retail fundraising is important? Why cannot just we rely on a couple of corporates or high net worth individuals? The large number of people who are giving donations to WWF, it gives more legitimacy to our work. It helps in building a large audience who are our vocal advocates across various platforms. The channels which we are using and many other charities are using in retail fundraising are face-to-face, telecalling, regular giving, legacy giving, payroll giving through corporate employees, and obviously digital fundraising is all-encompassing. It helps to get the message of organization across to one of the most important stakeholders, common people like you and us. And the general masses will be the ones which will be most affected if we do not act now. So it is important that we are reaching out to people, trying to make them understand that actively as a group, common people have to act together. Otherwise, it will be too late for us to act. We are reaching out to millions of people in different corners of the country every day and spreading the message far and wide to ensure that every individual understands their responsibility towards the planet. That is actually the overall, I would say, besides we are raising unrestricted funds to retail fundraising, the importance of retail fundraising that we are reaching out to large audience. In case of WWF, we have a strong donor database of more than 200,000 donors across the length and breadth of the country. Why retail fundraising? Retail fundraising is unleashing the power of people like you and me. It helps in building one-on-one interactions. It helps people to understand the cause better. People understand the relevance of the work of the organization. It also helps in building a trusting relationship and inspire people to support the cause. And ultimately, it helps to raise much needed funds to support different initiatives. Overall, fundraising activities like face-to-face fundraising, etc., has helped us to reach out to approximately 20 million people from different parts of the country in last 1 decade. This has, I think, no kind of branding, advertising can actually help with giving this kind of mileage and visibility, which our retail fundraising team has been able to do for last 1 decade. I think these are some of the glimpses of what we are doing. Here is like an engagement activity we have done in a co-working space. And the photo is on a World Tiger Day, how we are engaging with the people in malls. Very funny and nice tiger mascot one of our fundraiser is wearing. These are some other examples of how we are raising funds in mall and creating awareness for a very important cause. And we are the only charity which is present in key airports like Delhi and Hyderabad. You can see, I think very recently, eminent personalities like Dr. Narayan Murthy, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, they came to a stall, interacted with our staff, and obviously they also donated and patted our back for doing a fantastic work. So these kind of interactions actually help in inspiring our team, because these young people coming fresh out of colleges, when they see that people are respecting and admiring their work, they are understanding the value of conservation, it also helps them that if whatever work they are doing, or if they have taken an initiative to dedicate their career toward this important cause, it reinforces their belief that they are on the right track. Again, digital fundraising, this is our web donation page. Digital campaigns help us to reach wider audiences. With the press of a button, our message of conservation can reach out to thousands of peers. And after this lecture, I would be sharing an email which we have dedicatedly worked out on Earth Day, which I would like that internal team to circulate with the staff and other people. How we can change the face of fundraising in India. I think it is important that the power of CSR is actually going beyond cities and urban areas. But I have noticed that most of the corporates actually are more comfortable supporting the work in their area of interest, which is primarily cities and urban areas. It is important that we are able to reach out to those villages, remote villages where the need is the greatest. We also need to build a reliable and organized system of retail givers, ultra high net worth and high net worth individuals with impact visibility that accelerate giving decisions. As of now, still, I think in Indian culture, giving is installed in all of us. In some way, we all have donated money. We all have raised funds when we were school and colleges. But actually, as per the latest data, still more than 80% of giving is unorganized. But if we are able to really build formal giving through reputed organization charity, where they are working on a focused approach or focused mandate, it will actually help a lot of credible charities to plan their work on a long-term basis from the funds which they can raise from a large number of individuals. Either it can be people like you and me or ultra high net worth individuals or high net worth individuals. Focus on increased thoughtful social investment with new gen philanthropists who are more entrepreneurial, socially aware, and innovative in their approach. I think that can change the face of fundraising in India. Again, I would like to emphasize there's a huge and immense potential of crowdfunding, which need to be tapped and which need to be scaled up. And we need to encourage the concept of donation matching in corporation. A lot of corporate, they match the contribution which is generated by staff, but there are only far and few corporate which are actually doing it. The need of the hour is that more and more corporates are encouraging this practice. Ultimately, the goal is to build a robust philanthropy strategy, which is imperative for the next decade of India's growth. These are some of the examples of the conservation work which we are doing here. You can see a camera trap work which we are doing. This is rhino translocation work. We are helping women in Sundarban solar lights to mitigate human-tiger conflict. There are places in Sundarban where electricity has not reached, where solar lighting has helped to not only put light in their life, but also somehow it also helps in mitigating the conflict with animals. And the solar fencing example where human-elephant conflict, primarily in the northeast part of the country. So this is a very nice quote which I thought I should put in this presentation. This is from a villager in Ladakh, actually, and who has been a beneficiary of our coral pens, which we have constructed there to avoid in conflict with animals, especially snow leopards. So this is something which actually inspires us to work on a day-to-day basis. I would like to now play a small video. This video I have done it some time back, primarily for our donors. This will give you a glimpse of how people feel about WWF India.
Prashantji, video voice is not coming.
Just a second, I will try again. Is it audible?
No. Video voice is not there.
I think there's some problem, I guess. I'm not sure why it is happening.
But we can read the text.
I'll-
If you give us the video, we will add it in
Sure,
the
sure.
this
I
one,
think
and then
there's some technical
we will
glitch.
host it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will end on this famous quote from Winston Churchill. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we get. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Prashantji, for your such a nice lecture. And it was actually new to our community. We have been dealing with the science, technology, and applications, but this has been the new learning for us also. And just two examples I would like to give when I came personally to see such kind of funding. One in the local Dehradun, we have this Malsi Deer Park, now known as Dehradun Zoo. Now the forest department came into the funding, and now they have a big impact of this funding. The big businessmen or even individuals have taken given the funds to protect a particular plant or the animal there, and then they have put the signboards that this fund was given by them, and you can get the tax benefit also, and it is for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year. And the second example that I came across is actually Haridwar, where the Har Ki Pauri entire thing was under a CSR activity. It has been totally revamped, and you can see new murals and other things planted under the as part of CSR activity. So I appreciate this retail funding and how WWF is taking care of the funding and supporting these programs. So thank you all. So next in the line, our Dr. J.V. Thomas, who is Director of our Earth Observation System and Disaster Management Services. So Dr. Thomas is a geologist by training, and he completed his master's and PhD from one of the prestigious institute in India, IIT Roorkee, in 1996. And he has also done postdoctoral studies at the what we can say, the fountainhead of our space research, the Physical Research Laboratory, Ahmedabad, before joining ISRO headquarters 1998 in the Earth Observation Program Office. He has more than 25 years of experience in Earth observation applications, as well as the disaster management support program since its inception in ISRO, and contributed significantly to activities of DMS along with the Northeastern Regional Node for the disaster risk reduction at ANISAT, and working out various interface with the integrated control room for the emergency services with the Ministry of Home Affairs. And then Dr. Thomas has also contributed significantly to oceanography and meteorology field. He is the member secretary of the steering committee for meteorology and oceanography from 2015, coordinating the user requirements for all the Ministry of Earth Science and other institutions. And his contributions in establishing the Doppler radar network and multi-mission data processing system for IMD is significant. And he has also contributed in finalization specification of OceanSat 2 and OceanSat 3 satellites. As we all know, our planet, we call it blue planet because of the presence of the oceans, and the satellite remote sensing is the only technique where it can be used to monitor such a vast oceans. So our ISRO's two dedicated satellite, OceanSat 2 and 3, sir, has contributed significantly. And he has also contributed in international cooperation for the collaborative missions and data exchange, leading to the discussion with the NOAA USA, EMU STAT Germany, CNS France, and he is also the serving as chair for the working group 2, coordinating a group of meteorological satellites under World Meteorological Organization, and also co-chair of the Argos Cooperation Committee. So I welcome Thomas sir on this Earth Day celebrations of ISRS, and would like to hear from you about the ISRO's program about the Earth observation and disaster management.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen, for all the good words. If you, can you, Dr. Prashant, if you can take out that presentation, I will. Can you unshare your presentation, Prashant? Dr. Prashant?
Pardon?
Can you unshare your presentation?
Oh, okay. Fine?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
I'll just put my presentation. Are you getting the presentation? Okay, I am not able to see my presentation.
No, sir. So background screen is there, sir, not the presentation.
Oh.
You can share the window or entire screen.
Entire screen I am presenting, but the application is not coming.
Then you can switch to share a window. Unshare, then share a window, select this PPT.
I'm not getting that window at all.
Escape, sir, escape. Just press escape.
I'm facing some difficulty.
Sir, you are using Mac?
Mac.
Sir, you can just command tab. If you press, you will get all the windows which are open. Press command tab.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Then simply share it.
No, Praveen, I'm.
You are not able to share.
No, I am not able to share.
Sir, I will give you a suggestion. You put it on share screen, and then you can open PPT in your laptop. Maybe you will not be able to see the screen, but you can then address it through your laptop.
Okay.
Yeah.
But already that presentation is open.
Yeah, sir. Actually, we are getting the screen only, not this one, the presentation.
Now
Also the background screen. So you have shared the entire screen.
in the screen, only one tray only is coming. That is, I'm sharing only one tray. I'm getting only one.
No, actually, in the screen, and then there are windows.
You can see the windows.
Yeah, I can see the background only, but if you do,
background you are seeing, or
this colorful mountain background, I am able to see.
That's all. No, that's no icons you are seeing.
Yeah, no icons. So you simply share your screen and then open the presentation in the full screen mode. So hopefully that will work. Or you can send a mail to me. I will share from my side.
I am sorry that will take some time because it's a huge file.
Because we are able to.
1 minute, let me.
Sir, our team is asking you to give the control of your this one. Then we can host from your PC directly.
Okay, okay.
You just give the acceptance to our team. They will send a request for the control.
Okay.
So the teams, your teams, they will operate and try to share.
I have not got the request.
Yeah, they will send. They are sending.
Otherwise,
Sir,
I can.
sir, you have to share the window, share the screen first. Then they will take the control.
Yeah, have shared.
Okay.
Give control. I will give control to ISRS.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I allowed.
Yeah, they will try to host it.
can see on the desktop. The presentation is open. No? No.
Sir, actually, your this presentation is not visible. You have to open the presentation. You have to open
the presentation, Praveen. It's on the desktop, but I'm also facing exactly the same problem. When I'm sharing, I'm not getting. One more try. Let me try. Open share tray. It's not in the share tray. That's what.
But if you open the share tab, in the windows you should be able to see the PPT presentation.
That is not being shown. That's the issue I'm facing.
So presentation, you have opened the presentation.
Yes.
Can you see in the command tab? In the command tab, can you see that? When you put the command tab, you can see that presentation. Command tab. You should be able to see the presentation window.
No, Praveen. My desktop is.
Then just restart. Otherwise.
Okay, I'll just reboot. Reboot my. Pindu, can you call somebody from ISRS for presentation? Please.
Our distinguished ISRS members, there is a small delay due to some technical glitch. So we'll be soon coming back with the last popular talk about the Earth Day celebrations from the ISRO's perspective, how we are supporting the various satellites via various satellite systems, the monitoring of the Earth as a system, and how it helps us.
Now I joined from the browser. Let me check whether here I can. Yes, here I think. Now the permission I think I don't have now. I should. It's asking for the permission to share.
Yeah, give me some time, sir. Sir, actually, no message has come.
It has come?
No, message has not come.
This I am unable to.
Please share the search presentation to all, either full screen mode or window mode.
I am opening it through Chrome. I am closing. I am opening through Safari.
Sir, generally through app it is very easy. You simply have to share the screen. I don't know, because I'm also using the Mac. I have not faced such problems. So in the meantime, to our online friends in the YouTube, so some of our members, they want to ask question to Dr. Arindran. So as soon as the question comes, we'll be taking them.
Sure.
She has not seen. Screen is blank. It is going. No is presenting. Presenting is not going. It's not going. Otherwise, I should get no.
You can change the laptop, sir.
Yes, Mr. Prasant, can you hear me?
We can hear. We can hear you, Dr. Adarsh.
Yes, Dr. Prasant, can you explain what is the process for the fundraising through your WWF?
That is very easy. In fact, I will be requesting Dr. Praveen after this call that I've requested him to circulate a e-mailer which we have done on Earth Day, and you will get a link to that mailer. And if you want to donate, it will land you on our website, and you can choose and wish how much you want to donate for a particular cause. It's pretty easy, sir. And alternatively, if you want, I can ask someone to reach out to you if you want to discuss in detail about any work which we are doing.
Yeah. So do you have some sort of website for the same?
Correct, sir. So just when you Google WWF India, you will get our donate page. And once you will open a donate page, you will get all the options to donate in various categories and options.
Okay. Okay. Now it's okay.
Yeah. Now it's okay. So finally, we could get over the.
Warm greetings on the occasion of the celebrations of Earth Day 2023. As it is told, I mean earlier, Dr. Praveen told, I'm working on in the headquarters of Indian Space Research Organization in Bangalore, in Earth Observation Application and Disaster Management Program Office. We are mandated to interact with all the users of space-based data, collect the requirement, coordinate the development of satellites from conceptualization, application development, and usage of the data generated. So I am going to speak on this Indian Earth Observation Program, which we are involved in day in and day out. And Dr. Arindran has already covered several applications of Earth Observation. So it's I will be just continuing with that presentation. So the Indian Earth Observation Program. So that slide was changing, Praveen? The new slide has come?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is coming.
What we are providing. And all those research about the Earth system that we are covering in the last bullet, better understanding of the Earth system. The programmatic goals include and international cooperation in Earth observation. The capacity building is last, but no, it is very important, and the capacity generation and the technology absorption on all the sectors, and also the capacity, whatever we are generating, that is being utilized. And we also aim at generating policies, guidelines, regulations for enabling all this above whatever I have told. So, as you know, the Earth observation evolution, we have started in 1979 with the Bhaskara. That was a frame camera. Then slowly in 1988, IRS-1C came, and that was a push broom camera with 72 meter and 36 meter resolution. Then came the 1995, I entered into microwaves also, microwave scatterometers. We have started in 2009 with the OceanSat-1 scatterometer, the radar imaging, altimeters in Saral, what we have initiated in 2013. Then high resolution, real high resolution started with 60 centimeter time delay interface technology we have mastered. Then now the very high resolution 30 centimeter data also is available now. The current available satellites, when we, after IRS, initially we have started with IRS, when all the satellites we have multiplied into different satellites, we have started the thematic series. Whatever is the resource information we have collected through ResourceSat series of satellite. Today we have got a ResourceSat and also microwave satellite, VSAT satellites. The ResourceSat, as I said, it gives a 3-tier imaging, 56 meter, 23 meter, and 5.8 meter. And the C-band SAR is around 3 to 50 meter resolution and 17 to 24 days repetitivity. And the Cartosat series gives the high resolution cartographic data, that is 60 centimeter panchromatic, and now 30 centimeter with the Cartosat 3 and 1.5 meter multispectral data. The OceanSat series, which we have initiated, OceanSat 1 onwards. In 1999, we have had the first satellite, OceanSat 1. Now the OceanSat 3, I'll just put a separate slide on OceanSat 3. It gives ocean color, ocean surface winds, and the Saral satellite with Altica. This gives ocean altimeter, and also our weather forecasting is given with 2 satellites, INSAT 3D and 3DR. This at geosynchronous satellites, and this gives the weather forecasting information about the atmospheric and climate studies it gives. So OceanSat 3, this is the latest addition in our remote sensing satellites. It was launched in 26 November 2022. It has got a KU band scatterometer, SCAT-3. And SCAT-1 was in OceanSat 1 in 1999. Then 2009, and 2009 when it finished its period in 2014. In 2016, we have separately, we went for SCAT-SAT 2, SCAT-SAT 1 in 2016, and 2021, that also completed its lifetime, and 2023, we have started with the OceanSat 3, we have launched the Scatterometer 3. And it has also got a 13-band Ocean Color Monitor OCM3. Earlier in OceanSat 1 and 2, we had Ocean Color Monitor. It was an 8-band Ocean Color Monitor. We have upgraded it to a 13-band Ocean Color Monitor. It has got very narrow spectral bandwidth of 10 to 20 nanometers. And it has got a signal to noise ratio is improved from around 350 to 900. We have increased. It has got two types of resolutions. One is local area coverage of 366 meter and a global area coverage of 1.1 kilometer. And scatterometer is a KU band pencil beam scatterometer. High resolution mode. Earlier scatterometers used to provide wind vectors at 50 kilometer resolution, and SCAT-SAT 1 gave a 25 kilometer resolution. And this SCAT-SAT 3, SCAT-3, we are aiming at a 12.5 kilometer resolution. And experimental mode also is available where 5 kilometer resolution pixels are available for the wind vectors. And this OceanSat 3 is currently undergoing CalVal phase, and the data will be soon available to all the users. When we come to the domains of Earth observation applications, mainly is the sustainable development, the socio-economic security, natural resources we are monitoring. And second one is the governance applications, which provides decision support and planning monitoring. And the third phase is the third important pillar is the disaster risk reduction, the early warning, detection and monitoring. These are the three major pillars of the Earth observation applications. When we talk about the sustainable development, the natural resources management and optimal use, it is important. It is one of the factors. And there are several applications we have developed. And the ecology, environment, status, protection and conservation, and long-term sustainability awareness and creation. In all these, several applications have been developed in all these years, and I will be covering in the next few slides. Some of these applications, now I cannot cover all these applications, but some of the GIS I will be providing. So first of all, sustainable development, when we talk about the food security. Food security, first application in the left-hand up corner, what I have put is the crop production estimation. So a country need to know how much when a season starts itself, how much the product is going to come. It can be in rice, wheat, mustard, sugarcane, cotton, sorghum, jute, or pulses. In all these crops, we are doing it. When the season starts itself, you know the area of this agriculture crops have been cultivated. From that thing, from the area, we convert it into with multi models in November, January, February, and March, a different time frame. We give to the country what will be the output going to come. This will be very useful in planning the country's strategic plans, whether if the product is going to be high, that time we have to plan, country has to plan for storage of these agriculture products. And if the crop is going to be very less, then we have to plan for imports. These sort of decisions can be taken with this information. And in horticulture also, we have started programs like Chaman. This is site suitability for expansion in underutilized regions. which are the areas where horticulture crops are being planted, and which are the areas which can be extended. These are all can be done through this satellite imagery. We are doing now the current Chaman project is doing for mango, banana, citrus, potato, onion, tomato, and chili. It is being covered. Similarly, the reclamation of bringing more area under agriculture. This is also for monitoring wastelands and degraded lands. And some of these degraded lands can be brought into cultivation, and which are the areas where it is located, all this. And also this green revelation to the eastern India, this is another project being carried out. Extend areas in the northeastern region, the cultivation of pulses and oil seed, extending that into larger areas, that also we are, it is being carried out. Another important aspect in potential fishing zone, another important project we are carrying out is a potential fishing zone. And here we understand from the fishermen, from the local knowledge we have, and the studies, it has shown that fishes in sea, in particular temperature zone, generally it will prefer. And also the ocean color shows the presence of the algae. If the blue sea, if we see it as green, it is the presence of algae. Algae has the primary chain in the food production, and small fishes will come to eat this algae, and the bigger fishes will come to eat the small fishes. So wherever this green color is seen and the algae are seen, there we know that fishes will be available. Such areas in the ocean, using this ocean color data and sea surface temperature data, mixing this, it has been modeled to know where the fishes will be available. And this information is being sent to all the fish landing centers, all the coastal areas for the fishermen to use. Using this in the same in particular direction, if you go say maybe 50 kilometer inside, 50 meter depth, the fishes will be available. That will be informed to the fishermen. Because of this thing, the fish catch per unit effort has seen increasing by 2 to 4 times, and also the search for the fishes, it is reduced by 60 to 70%. So this has not only increased the income of the fishermen, but also saved the carbon spent in the fuel burning. And that is for the environmental also, it is giving a lot of advantages. And the NAVIC, we have for the NAVIC satellite with this location information is being given, and integrating this information, this NAVIC satellite through this app to the mobile. When the fisherman is at sea, we can give information of this potential fishery zone, as well as any rough weather alerts. And also, many of the cases, these fishermen will not know they are crossing the international boundary, and they will get into the area of the other countries. Whenever they reach the international boundary in ocean, such information can be given through this NAVIC satellite, and it will be very useful for the fishermen to be safer. And whenever using this system, they can also, when they are in trouble, they can also give a warning to this to the land. This such information, that such gadgets we have given to all the coastal areas, and many of the fishermen are using this information. This is another application under water security. We know from the satellite imagery, the surface water can be mapped very easily. It is from the land, the water will be, water bodies will be seen very clearly. But the underground water also can be mapped looking at the other indicators, which are such as the lineaments, the greenery present in the hard rock terrain, or looking at the morphology, we can understand about the groundwater. Such groundwater can be mapped, and the whole country has been mapped in where the groundwater is available. That mapping has been done. And also this data can be used for the command area development and command area management. command area, how much it is developed, how much the programs are useful, such information we are getting. This alignment of tributaries, identification of irrigable areas under each of the distributes, etc., can be understood. And also, when we are making an irrigation canal, we can also monitor whether there is the under construction canals can be monitored, where the gaps in constructions are there, where the water is losing. All this information can be derived from the this Earth observation imageries. Another major application is the air pollution monitoring. This in the insert aerosol optical depth is giving the finer particles away in the atmosphere. You can see in the left side image, it is in insert 3D derived aerosol optical depth is being shown. You can see almost this endogangetic plane is generally shows a large amount of aerosols in this region. And now also studies are going on to convert this aerosol optical depth into PM 2.5 as well as PM 10, like that the pollutants we are measuring. The right side image we can see it is a from the Arabian regions, how the dust is coming into our Gujarat region and getting into the Indian region. You can see from the desertic conditions, the dust being flown and coming into our region. Such observations we can also monitor using the satellite data and Earth observation data. And another important aspect is the space inputs for energy segment. We have given large commitments. The Prime Minister has given large commitments for the energy segments. We have given commitments for reducing the carbon emission by 1 billion tons by 2030. We have given. So India is the largest producer of renewable energy, and around 40% is coming from the renewable sources, and we have to increase this renewable capacity to 500 gigawatts by 2030. So all this thing we do using the satellite data, the atlases for solar, offshore wind and wave energy potentials are being mapped. I mean, the land and ocean, wherever the sun energy is high, we can see, and it is mapped. All these maps are available now. It is in a solar energy calculator is available for mobile apps has been developed. And if somebody want to put in a solar energy farm, using that mobile apps, we can see which are the areas suitable and which are the areas not suitable. All these areas can be calculated. And also we have produced a geospatial energy map of India. All the energy, I mean, not only the renewable energy, the other energy, coal or any other energy, all this energy, where the sources, where the distribution lines, all these things are mapped and it is available in a single portal. It is made. This has been done by the cooperation of several other ministries, and for all those ministries' use, we have made this geospatial energy map of India. Now comes another important factor as the important aspect of disaster reduction. And under disasters, we are doing the flood hazard forecasting, inundation, and the damage estimation we are doing. The landslide hazard zonation we have done in certain areas. The early warning we are trying in using for wherever the landslide is occurring because of the severe rains, wherever it is happening, that early warning we are trying. And also when a landslide happens, the damage estimation we are doing. Similarly, earthquake, as you know, there is still there is no foolproof methodology to predict an earthquake accurately with time and space. So we are studying a lot of several precursors we are studying. The damage, whenever a earthquake is happening, the damage estimation is being done through using high resolution satellites. And the cyclone is another, which is a successful case. We have disaster what we are monitoring. Cyclone, whenever it is originated in ocean, and where it is, which direction it is moving, and where it is going to fall, and in the land, and when it is going to hit, and what will be the intensity of the wind. All this can be analyzed and which can be given using the satellite data. And also our scatterometer wind is very useful in forecasting the genesis of this cyclone. So whenever a low pressure area is being formed, that area, whether that low pressure area will become into a cyclone or not, we can calculate, we can predict using this scatterometer winds. And also forest fire, daily 8 times we are taking the burning areas, active forest fires, we are taking at 8 times and distributing it to the Forest Survey of India for action on the ground. So the climate change also, Dr. Arindran has covered some of the climate change research also. This it has to be mapped, the indicators like glacier retreat, polar ice cover, alpine zones, etc. They are the indicators. These indicators can be monitored using the Earth observation data. And also the agents, the greenhouse gas variability, biomass waning, terrestrial carbon, aerosols, etc. can be monitored. And this all will be modeled and to the impact on food security, hydrology, coastal zone. All this can be studied. These are being studied in ISRO as well as several academia. Everybody is involved in such studies. All this information what we are deriving from the Earth observation satellite data, we are providing it to National Information System for Climate Environmental Studies called a NICES portal. All this around 70 geophysical products and 13 essential climate variables we are uploading into this portal, and that is available for all the users for use and studies. The other 2 more portals I want to mention is, one is the Bhuvan, all Earth observation data for visualization services. It is available. It is bhuvan.nrc.gov.in, which you can see all the data from our Earth observation satellite is stored there, and you can visualize, and even we can order the data through this Another one is Bhunidhi. It is it can be several visualization tools are also available in Bhunidhi. You can visualize data, the 2 dates data, you can compare and see. All these facilities are available in Bhunidhi portal. And another one is MOSDAC, which is it's a data repository of meteorology and ocean data in MOSDAC. And also the CalVal data in this calibration validation data from in situ observation platform also is made available through this MOSDAC. Any researchers can take this data. They have to only register into this MOSDAC portal and they can freely utilize this data. So here I am stopping. I am just this was a glimpse. I just want to finish by quoting from this this earthday.org, who are celebrating this Earth Day activities. They have, what they are telling is, in 2023, we must come together in partnership for the planet. Business, governments, and civil society are equally responsible for taking action against the climate crisis and lighting the spark to accelerate the change towards a green, prosperous, and equitable future. So, as it is, the theme is telling, invest in our planet and also invest in Earth observations. Both will give plenty of benefit. It is plenty beneficial. And Thank you very much for this opportunity given. I'm sorry for the initial trouble, but I hope I have finished in time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was wonderful, Dr. Thomas.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. You can unshare the screen.
Yeah.
And it's really heartening to see how much, although we have the theme this year, but we have been following these activities from the space point of view. And ISRO has been leading the Earth observation from India side. And but as you must all know that we have space reforms has taken in India, and new space policy has come up. So all this our taxpayers' money and the government what we are supporting us. So all the data, I think above 5 meter pixels is going to be made freely available, and I hope it will derive many more applications like the urban environment monitoring or the water bodies monitoring, which requires such multispectral data. And globally also we see in the Earth observations from 19 I think 2009 onwards, Landsat data when it was made free. So there is a huge success story behind that. Number of publication, number of usages has increased exponentially since it was made free from the government funded program to the fully this one. And then in the other parts of the country also, like the Copernicus, it is kind of a big consortium of all the European states. So they also provide data free. So that also derives a lot of these Earth observation systems. So in ISRO also, our funding setup and all this has been changing. And even ministries are coming up, like Ministry of Jal Shakti and other Ministry of Earth Science, to sponsor the satellites as per their requirements. So right from the organizations like WWF, which has been spearheading the investment forte, and our ISRO, which has been providing this observation for the benefit of country. So I hope this continues, and we all work a bit from our side as a organization, as a individual, so that we can keep our environment safe, and we can protect the not just our lives but the lives in and around us also. So I will take some of the questions now. Sir, the one question from the Mr. Somdeep Kundu, regarding the high air temperature rise, especially April, May, June. Especially, he's referring to the State of Climate Report 2022, where they are saying that it has in 2022 it increased to 1.15 degree above the 1850 to 1900 average. So he's asking how it is affecting animals and ecology in general. This question is to Dr. Arinder.
So the increase in thanks for the question, sir. Yeah. So the increase in temperature is going to indirectly affect many of the quality of the habitat, availability of the water. So naturally, when the areas within the protected, suppose, let's say, an example I would like to give, if this temperature is going to evaporate the availability of water within protected areas, animal is going to come out of the protected areas. Just giving a situation like wherever the water is available, naturally human dwelling areas where water is stored. So naturally, when the animal is going to come there, the increase in productivity is going to change. Productivity of natural environment is going to change. So naturally, the food availability of the animal is going to change. So many ways, it's going to impact the animal directly and indirectly also. One example is the water is availability of water is
lecture.
Praveen, I've already sent the mail to you.
Okay, no problem, sir. So I again take this opportunity to thank each one of you for taking your time and from your busy schedule and sharing your experiences and future perspective of how we can support from our technologies so that we have a better planet for our next generation. So I also thank our President, Dr. Prakash Chauhanji, and all the EC members who have given us their consent and best wishes to conduct this event. And we look forward to meet you in person at our campus, and also our next program, which is going to be World Environment Day. hopefully we all meet together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen.
For giving me an opportunity to address this eminent group of people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Praveen, for this.
Thank you, Thomas ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.